All right. Can I have representatives from each group come forward? Please. Eliana wants to go first. She is really in charge. Eliana, come here. Can I have people from each group come forward? So, Eliana, what
my tablet. What works not well for me is tradition. And mom, I'm talking about you. You.
There are three things that work for her. The first one is doublet, division, and then math. All right, can I have you come All right. Okay, let's see what you came up with. Go, please. Come on. What you come up with? Let's go.
So for us, we said what worked was limiting screen time, and what didn't work was taking away the phone, because kids have accessibility to other devices like iPads and laptops, which they can use to do the same things they do on their phones.
Okay, on our group, we see that we can use social media in learning, making friendship, business. Other people use it as a form of entertainment. On the other hand, we have time-consuming for others, the addiction to some of us, breakups, and parental has become an issue, especially for those kids who are using it. And we have scammers who are using social media to do their business.
In our group, we had social media helps us to learn a lot of things that would otherwise have to look for them in books and libraries. So information is readily available for both the kids and parents. However, a lot of things are wrong for social media. Personally, I had an example where we created a WhatsApp group between me, my wife, and my children, and then we realized our children left one by one. So we were left in the WhatsApp group, me and their mother. We also had to leave because we could see each other. That one did work.
That's a good one. Social media has worked for us because it has helped us to connect with more friends and family and everywhere. But the side that has not worked, you may have 400 friends. Do you know them? Some of them are fake friends. And so many other things. And then the hard thing happens, especially to the elderly or those people who are challenged by social media. Sometimes you give your information which you're not supposed to give.
What we found is that social media, if we can agree on this, and I'm sure that many of us will agree, like we did in our group, is that it's a source of information. A kid that is absolutely cut off out of this is really left behind. However, to enforce ground rules is the hardest part. What we are seeing here, if we can also be honest, many of us have struggled with exactly the same thing, the enforcement of those rules. Now, one of the ways of dealing with that is for the kids to ask parents before they open any social media account. Whether that happens or not is another whole story, but that's not our call for now. Thank you.
Ours was, it helps with easy communications. You can reach someone even, right now we are in Chicago, we can communicate with people who are in Seattle. Then it's a stress reliever. Anytime you get arguments with your partner, you always take your phone and you want him coming back to you. Research. One of the ways that it doesn't work, we have scammers. It's breaking a lot of families, and there is sometimes a lot of network coverage problems.
So our group, we talked of efficiency in keeping in touch and developing the wellness. A good example is when we're here in the US and our families are back in Kenya. We usually get to know how they're doing and keeping in touch. The other one is getting accurate information. It's easy nowadays to Google and know exactly, especially history and all that stuff. At times our kids are getting more knowledgeable than us. We'd ask you a question and you easily go to Brother Google and get to know it. The other one is you also get some very helpful information. You're looking for some Bible verse, a song. Nowadays you just go and get it. And also nowadays you're able to network, especially with the old-time friends, high school friends, primary school. You can easily network with people that otherwise without technology and social media you won't be able to do so. What has not really worked is we've had a lot of antisocial behavior. You've made friends, you're here, but instead of talking and knowing each other, I'm just on my phone. So it has created a lot of antisocial behavior. Another thing is that just like we're saying there's a lot of good information, there's also a lot of bad information. So if you focus on the wrong side and you get to bad stuff, you can really get it from social media. Thank you.
Thank you again. It looks like we were in the same thought process with that group, because I'll just mention, emphasize on the networking, like you learn about other people who have the same interest with you. That's one good thing with social media. The other one was that you get to meet new people and friends. Yes, there's scammers, but that's the only way you get to meet other people. Unlike when long time ago you had to find like a pen pal or something. And then the negative was, of course, miscommunication and misunderstanding. And this one I used my own experiences. I do not like text messages, because there's always like a misunderstanding when somebody says something and you're not in the same page, and there's no way you can go back at it, even if you try and call the person. And then it has created lack of socialization. It cuts off people. People just concentrate on their phone and behind their laptops. And then another thing was, it's time consuming. It takes you away from other interesting stuff that you could do.
I see most have been said, but for our group, what has worked well is knowledge enrichment, and what has not worked, we said breaking communication within the family.
In our group, we came up with it saves time. Like you are doing research, you can get information for easy time instead of long time going on to these books. This one can give you this time. But then it has brought laziness. Now these days they are becoming lazy, they don't want to work, they go to the phone.
I think we were thinking the same, but we said from our group, we say easy of mobility. Also, we say save time. Most of the time when I'm at work, we social media saves time. And the other side, the negativity, we say fake news, gossip. Also, we say lack of emotional connection. Thank you.
Okay, also we have what has worked when using social media. WhatsApp group for connecting groups and people, fundraising for different sources on social media. Those are the benefits. Staying updated, reduced time to get news from anywhere, and it is cheap. Also, it has made mamas like us to learn more. Yes. What has not worked? Too many groups, so you miss important things. Misinformation or fake news. Liberty to be rude, disrespectful on keyboard warriors. Take up too much time. People don't think twice about ideas. Oh Lord. People value those who are far away and forget those who are near. Our families, mamas, babas, uses how are you? Hi, how are you today? But here we don't talk at all. Thank you.
Social media is the biggest distraction on planet Earth today. It's not even a mountain erupting, because if I can spend an hour on machinery loaded, that is not good use of anyone's time. So instead of doing that, use social media to your benefit. If Mark Zuckerberg can make billions on social media, you can do the same.
So most of them have been said, but I'll just say a few, or rather I emphasize on a few. So while it creates easier communication, it also leads to less communication. Some people are saying in the group how their kids communicate with them from downstairs, you know, and they're upstairs, they just send them messages. You never see them even during meals. And then, of course, it creates networking. You're able to meet both old and new friends through social media. It's a marketplace. Those people who have businesses can use social media very effectively. And of course, even as we shop through social media and fundraising. Now, what has not worked is that it exposes people. Some people have sent messages to the wrong groups, some of them which have been very embarrassing. And also for especially the youth, it's like they are forced to be fake because social media makes people look glamorous. They don't bring out that other side of real life. So some kids are forced to pretend to be who they are not because of what they're seeing on social media. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I want to say that you've gone through most of the things that we had. The most important that we came up from our group is getting connected with the friends and the community. Social media has made it easy for us to connect with our family, friends, and we can communicate that way. What has not worked is on the family basis that we said what works in the family communication has made it hard for families to set up ground rules. You can, but with the social media, some other people are using their social media, and that comes that there's no family grounds that works for that. And then connected with that has also limited how people communicate the family time, social time that you can spend together as a family. A lot of times you find yourself in the house, husband, children, and everybody's on the gadget. Nobody's talking to anybody. Everybody's busy doing their thing. So there is really limited time for people to have together as a family and socialize and make that. And one other thing that we talked that I didn't hear people say that has made it is the access to like the rosary, the Bible, the mass, the songs that you can always get access to that we didn't have before. And so we have also lost connectedness. Initially, we had, right now, we lose our phones right here. I don't know if you can remember to get even to your sister that you assisted with. You don't have their phones that you can reach out to them. We have forgotten and we are relying on social media that you can go on the phone contacts and find their number. Unlike in the past, you know, you wrote it somewhere or you had it offhand. Like I have my friend Maridi's phone that even if he disappears from me, I can call him. But turns out that we have gotten a lot of friends that we had before that we can't remember their phones and how we can reach them. So that's the part that has happened for us.
Most of what we talked about has been said. We only add, I think it was also said about when people lose their loved ones, it's easily communicated through social media, and you're able to send messages of condolences and console the people through social media. Also, entertainment has been made easier, and families get together and either watch a movie together or just have an entertainment through the social media. What has not worked has broken. Most of it was also said, but a lot of families and relationships have broken up through social media. There's also no parent control for those parents who don't watch their children. Children as young have been able to be exposed to pornography and images that are not fit for them. There has been hacking of our bank accounts and stuff like that, and addiction to phones, which creates a lot of ignorance. Like when you're talking to a child, it's just on the phone, and they don't pay attention to what a parent is saying. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for this. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful insight. Now, do you remember when we used to have a landline? When you are talking to somebody and you are annoyed, you could slam it back into the receiver. But see, I'm annoyed with you. Nowadays we cannot do that. You are annoyed with your cell phone, but oh no, you will be broken, right? You will be broken. Another thing is, actually, do you remember you used to memorize all the phone numbers? Yes. Now, what's the phone number of Mr. George Marucha? I have to look it up. I don't remember. What's the phone number for my sister or my brother? I don't know it. I have to look it up. So, see, it has made us dependent. It has made us to be more dependent. Now the question I have for you is this. Of all the things that we say here, how can we overcome this? Come up with your own answer. Now, I have a question for you. Give me the answer. Why didn't the skeleton have a mobile?
Nobody to call.
Why didn't the skeleton have a mobile?
Nobody to call.
Because he had nobody to talk to. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bokonko, for that beautiful session, talking about our lives in the era of modern technology. So thank you very much. We learned a lot. We learned about the Holy Family, how they listened. We've talked about the things that help us in our families, the open communication, the traditions, all the things that we talked about, the beautiful things. We talked about the barriers, the miscommunication, the electronics, that it's good and bad. And then we were able to talk about what has worked and what has not worked. And the key thing is the question that he has left us, that we have to answer for ourselves. How do we want to address this, right? So that question is to each and every one of us. So thank you, Dr. Bogonko. That's just a quick summary. And it was a beautiful talk. Thank you for the interactions. We really appreciate. And so can we stand up and clap and give Dr. Bogonko fitting applause? Which one are we going to do? Can we do the rain? We do the rain one, then we end up. Are you warm? Have you warmed your hands? Warm up, okay. So the clouds are starting, right? The clouds are starting, and then little rain. One finger. Yes. Then the rain increases. And then it's raining more. Then now it's raining. Now, oh George.
Wow, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Bogongo. Thank you, Dr. Maria. So we have come to the end of the speakers. Now we are going to another phase. That's shortly. We are waiting for Father Patrick Kisa to come, and they will be doing the healing mass. Before that, I want to make some announcements so that we can know what's coming up today and tomorrow. So for today, after the healing mass, the following people are requested to remain behind. We have got a delegates meeting after the healing mass, and the following people are requested to remain behind. The current executive committee, the people who have been planning all these things over the last 2 years, actually 3 years. Father Gabriel Muteru, patron, he was not able to make it. I'll just read through. There are certain people who never made it because of some reasons. But those who are here, those who made it and are here, I want you to remain behind after the healing mass because we have got a delegates meeting. So, George Maruja, Margaret Nyoike, Anna Irungu, Francis Karani, Wycliffe Okoth, Hita Kinyanjui, Mary Mutori, Olivia Rigideri, Irene Gichinga, Robert Didiranku, Joachim Biu, Geoffrey Correa, Joseph Karanja, Sister Margaret Nyamutia, Dr. Maria Kioko, and Joe Muiruri. These are the current executive committee members. I know that quite a number are not here, but those who are here, you are requested to remain behind because you are supposed to facilitate the delegates meeting. And then these are the delegates. These are delegates that were chosen by their various jumuiyas to come and represent them. And from these, the executive committee will be chosen to run KCCA. So I want to read, I know that some didn't make it, but those who are here, I will request you kindly to remain behind after the healing mass. So Chicago, Endita Kiaria, Veronica Karioki, and Dr. Thomas Bogonko. Washington State, Peter Kanyi, Eva Karioki, Veronica Mwaniki, Samuel Karioki, Simon Njuguna. Baltimore, Maryland, Olivia Origidera,
Michael Mohoho, Sister Mary Ngina, Austin Mutai, and Lucy Kiputu. Delaware, Francisco Mwenga, Lynette Onyamu, Martin Nderetu, Francis Karani, Josephine Makori. From New Jersey, Ezita Matenge, Tony Gatsuru, Alice Ndege, Dr. Maria Kyoko, and Robert Ogembo. Washington, D.C., Mary Ngugi, Robert Ruinge. Pennsylvania, George Bill, Daniel Duku, Calvin Gatambia, Regina Dero, John Kinodia. Washington, Spokane, Njeri Ngatia. California, David Mwangi, Evanis Murethi. Minnesota, Charles Masiba, David Kimori, Ferdinand Mabea, Alex Marigi, and Josephine Ochi. Those are the names that were submitted that I have. I know there might be some chapters to Muyears from other states that are not represented here. If you are here, you can come and see me, and then we can maybe include you on the list. So I would really request that these delegates and the executive committee members who are here present, and your name was called, you remain behind after the healing mass. And then these are rectors for tomorrow. I want to call your names. If you are here, please see Hilda Kinyanjui. Hilda, can you stand up, please? Yeah. Stand up. Thank you. That's Hilda. So after I finish from here, please go and see Hilda, and then you can get your instructions for tomorrow, tomorrow's mass. Susan Koinange, Chuti Tomoke, Benjamin Kamau, Njeri Ngatia, Agnes Gitau, Edwin Mayaba, Eunice Karui, Nora Mura. Please make sure you see Hilda for instructions for tomorrow. And then, so like I said, we are going to go to the healing mass immediately. Father Patrick comes. And then after the healing mass, we are going to have a delegates meeting. Choir members, all the choir members who are here, you can remain behind also for a short briefing and maybe some practice. And then tomorrow, I know we are so very tired. We have worked the whole morning to rest, so that at 12, we expect all the choir members to be at Our Lady of the Holy Family to do some practice, because we are from all over the states. Everybody has got their own way of singing, but we want to kind of be one choir. So we need to practice together to go over the songs so that we know what we have to do during the Mass. We don't want to go to the Mass and then we have people singing from all the states, you know. We want to sing from one state, Chicago. Sindio? Yeah, so tomorrow by 12, or if you can come earlier, it's good, because we have the time. you come at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, that will be great. So that we can have the practice together as one choir, so that when we go to Mass, we sing beautifully, you know. The Mass itself will be at 2 p.m. I know everybody has got the program. If you don't have the program, you can see me, I will send it to you. Or you can ask your leader, they have the programs for tomorrow. Actually, there's a general program telling you what time the Mass will be. But the program themselves for the Mass, you get them during the Mass time when you are entering the church. So, and then after the Mass tomorrow, we have got a reception. And usually that's when we all get together, eat together, sing together, enjoy, dance. And I'm requesting if you have got a good piece to come, it can be a poem, anything, come ready so that you can entertain your fellow Christians. So that's about the timeline for tomorrow. So what we are going to do now is we are going to just take a small break so that we can get our blood circulating again, so that once after like 15 minutes we will all come back here, then we can start the choirs can start preparing themselves by singing the praise and worship songs, so that we can start getting ready for the Mass. Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're going to have time for confession.
Yeah.
Are we going to have any time for confession?
Oh, we can set it up. We have got Father is here, Father Cliff. No? Oh, I don't think if Father Paul was here, we would have done it. Once Father Paul comes, we can set it up. Okay? Yeah, those who want to confess, once Father Paul comes up, we can set it up so that you can have your confessions.
We want to ask if it's possible, if you can help us.
Yes.
If there's something on the tables, please, we clean it up. These tables, we are going to move them to the side so that we can put only chairs. And then we can make the tables that are around, we just align them so that when we leave, we'll just pick these chairs and we'll just put them down on the tables and we'll continue. But for Mass, we don't need these tables, and we need to clean up the place so that it is ready for Mass. Yes, and so move all the things that are on the table. We can move them and we'll move the tables. I will put that so. And then help us to arrange the chairs more neatly and leave some rows in between so that we can walk.
Okay, vile Dr. Maria amesema, let's clean our tables. Let's clean all the tables.